There aren't many rivalries in the automotive industry like the one between BMW and Mercedes. For decades, these two companies have been battling for the title of Germany's leading luxury car maker, and unlike back in the days when one was aiming for the ultimate comfort and the other was aiming for the ultimate driving experience, both companies went in the direction of gaining as much audience as possible. Many believe that there's no substantial difference between the two marques like it used to be, and the X5 and GLE seem like perfect examples. Similar design, similar proportions, similar interior layout, similar powertrain lineup. How do these models stack against each other after the latest update? Let's start the ultimate luxury SUV showdown between the 2024 BMW X5 and the 2024 Mercedes-Benz GLE. As usual, we start with the exterior design. Both SUVs have been around for a while, since 2019 if you want us to be precise. And just like they were redesigned in the same year, they have now received mid-cycle updates at about the same time. And of course, one of the focus points was the styling, as it usually happens with mid-cycle refreshes. Both models receive subtle but effective aesthetical tweaks. In the case of the BMW X5, the biggest changes are at the front, where you can notice a revised front grille as well as a new bumper. Thankfully, it looks like that crazy phase of oversized kidneys is over, so everything looks perfectly sized on the new model. Also new are headlights and taillights, while the Bavarian carmaker also offered new sets of wheels. Certain versions, such as the performance-oriented M60i, receive exclusive details like gloss black exterior accents, but overall, this update brought subtle changes only. The new model looks a bit sharper, a little bit more aggressive, and a little bit better. The GLE also gets a mid-cycle refresh, and from what we can see, things look even more subtle than in BMW's case. Once again, we're talking about revisions of parts like the front bumper, an updated grille, new lighting elements, and similar things, but changes are less noticeable than in the X5's case. Also worth mentioning are the new wheels, and if we want to compare the two models from this aspect, it's good to know that the most basic GLE comes with 20-inch units, while the X5 utilizes 21-inch wheels in its most basic variants. Of course, both models offer various upgrades in terms of size and design. The recent facelift also brought interesting interior updates for both models. Back in the day, when the current generations were launched, many claimed that Mercedes did a better job with the interior layout, and this facelift came as a kind of confirmation. Because once again, BMW designers put more effort and offered more updates to remain competitive. The most notable change is definitely the new curved panel that integrates the digital instrument cluster and the infotainment, which, besides the new screen, also gets software updates. Mercedes, on the other hand, offered its vision of an integrated panel long ago, so this update was more about subtle changes, about details. And the most notable change is definitely the new steering wheel, which features a new shape and adds touch-sensitive controls on the spokes. Furthermore, we can see interesting updates in terms of new chrome trim around the air vents, along with new upholstery color options and similar things. All in all, the two cabins look more similar than ever, so it's really hard to say which one is better, at least when it comes to aesthetics and build quality. Therefore, let's focus on more important things: comfort and practicality. When you look at these two SUVs from the outside, they once again look very similar in terms of proportions. That's because all measurements are pretty close. Does that mean they offer the same amount of passenger space? Well, not exactly. This is where slight differences can be seen. At the front, things are pretty similar, as you would expect. Both models feature massive and supportive seats with plenty of leg, head, and shoulder room. In other words, excellent comfort all day long is guaranteed. On the other hand, things are a little bit different in the second row. There, the X5 offers a little more headroom, 40.8 inches compared to 39.6. However, things are the opposite in terms of legroom, where the gap is noticeably bigger. The GLE is good for a quite respectable 40.9 inches, while the X5 offers just 37.4 inches. All in all, we would say that Mercedes is a little bit more comfortable in the second row. Then comes the cargo area, where the two models are, once again, pretty close, which only supports that theory from the beginning of the video even more. With the second row up, BMW's midsize SUV is slightly better, 33.9 cubic feet compared to 33.3. However, when it comes to total volume, the GLE takes the lead with 74.9 cubic feet compared to BMW's 72.3. The GLE features a lower starting price than the X5, and if you wonder why that is, it's because Mercedes still has a small Turbo 4 reserved for the base version, for those buyers who want a luxurious SUV but aren't looking for any spectacular performance. That 2-liter engine puts out 255 horsepower, meaning that it won't blow your mind, but it won't disappoint you either. Anyway, let's start things we can compare, and that would be 6-cylinder engines. Both SUVs come with turbocharged inline-6 units. The GLE's 3-liter engine puts out 362 horsepower, while BMW's well-known inline-6 has just been updated and now puts out 375 horsepower instead of 335. And guess what? BMW in such configuration has the edge, with the 0 to 60 time in about 4.8 seconds compared to the GLE's 5.3. For those looking for better performance, both companies offer various upgrades. The GLE comes with the well-known designation AMG GLE 53, which now refers to an upgraded version of the inline-6 with 423 horsepower. It's a notable power upgrade, so it doesn't surprise that 0 to 60 gets down to a respectable 4.4 seconds, while the quarter mile is 13 seconds flat. However, the Bavarian rival takes this entry-level high-performance territory way more seriously and offers 8 cylinders instead of 6. With this year's facelift, it also offers a small electric motor, but the max output remains the same, 523 horsepower, significantly more compared to GLE, so quicker acceleration doesn't surprise at all. 0 to 60 takes around 3.8 seconds. Then there are electrified models, where BMW once again puts way more focus on performance. The GLE comes with a completely new setup for this year, and unlike the Bavarian rival, bases a plug-in hybrid version on a 4-cylinder engine instead of 6. As a result, the maximum output is at around 381 horsepower. On the other hand, the X5 xDrive 50e has 6 cylinders and a more capable electric motor, so the max output goes all the way up to 483 horsepower. Obviously, BMW's hybrid is way more potent, but what about the max range? Both models can deal with daily commuting relying solely on electric power, though GLE's hybrid is slightly better in this aspect, with a max range of around 40 miles compared to X5's 38. As for the ride quality, both models are a joy to drive, but in their own different ways. Both SUVs are super refined, but as expected, the GLE feels a little bit more relaxed thanks to a little bit softer setup. Also worth mentioning is that every version of this SUV can be upgraded with adjustable air suspension and offer an even higher level of comfort. The X5, on the other hand, puts more focus on athleticism and offers way more predictability when you're getting into fast corners. The steering also feels a little bit more precise and with more feedback, though the GLE doesn't disappoint in this aspect either. Finally, both SUVs offer high-performance versions from their well-known performance divisions, AMG and M departments. In the case of the GLE, the key upgrade, of course, is that capable 4-liter twin-turbo V8, which puts out 603 horsepower and quite impressive 627 pound-feet of torque. The X5M, on the other hand, relies on the well-known 4.4-liter unit that puts out 617 horsepower and has notably less torque, around 553 pound-feet. But all in all, driving dynamics are quite similar, with both models being able to hit 60 in a little bit over 3.5 seconds. Where the difference becomes notable is in terms of the approach to the ultimate performance. BMW focuses strictly on performance and driving experience with its stiff suspension and variable all-wheel drive system, which allow you to choose between perfect torque distribution or focus on the rear wheels with the rear-biased track mode. The GLE 63, on the other hand, plays on the versatility card with its special trick based on an airbag system and active anti-roll bars, which provides ultimate corner carving without bigger compromises in terms of comfort. Finally, a few words about pricing. As mentioned, the GLE features a lower starting price due to the base Turbo 4 engine, and it's available at around $63,800. The 6-cylinder Fun starts at around $70,600, which is also the price of the plug-in hybrid version. Finally, the GLE 53 starts at around $88,000, while the Ultimate AMG 63S is almost $129,000. The 2024 BMW X5, on the other hand, starts with 6 cylinders, so the cheapest version you can get goes around $66,000, which is still notably lower than the comparable GLE version. The plug-in hybrid starts at around $73,500, while the M60i goes around $90,000. Finally, the X5 Competition is priced north of $123,000. What do you think about this comparison? Which midsize luxury SUV is your favorite? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.